Welcome. Here's another meditation. I hope you can sink in and enjoy. And so, just an invitation to allow that process of sinking in to begin, and whatever that means to you or looks like to you. Sometimes even just taking a deep sigh can kind of signal this system to go a little bit more internal, bringing the awareness central. Even just noticing or observing the environment around you. What are some things you like or dislike? What are some colors you can see or textures? And as I begin to set up my space, I invite you to just do a gentle body scan and notice the space you are occupying. Noticing the areas you can feel, or maybe some of the areas that are numb. And even just bringing in the awareness or the want to be aware. We can start to open into this space together, allowing this co-created container to really hold and support the intentions for why maybe you tuned in today or why you're listening to this now. And an invitation, as you still are bringing awareness or cultivating the awareness to the body, is asking yourself, like, how much am I in my body? Noticing the discomforts or maybe some pinch points, tension, or maybe even where it's flowing. And just allowing yourself the permission to connect to deeper resource in this container as you find a seat, as you get to be held. We can even think of like all of those qualities that make us human, these attributes and even things we like or we don't like. Just honoring this realm of being. Honoring that we're still learning. We're still growing. And what does it look like to have support in doing so? And what would it feel like if when we received this resource we could open just a little bit more? We could release more tension from the body. And we could really feel the space, maybe between our fingers or the space between each cell, as we are breathed, not only by life, but by our own vastness. What does that feel like to welcome just a little bit more space? And when we look or when we feel this space, noticing the qualities, noticing the invitations it brings. Noticing maybe what you're trying to do, trying to be, Maybe even noticing any stories or beliefs about what you are, what you need to be doing in order to receive. And here's an invitation just to observe what might be coming up when we offer ourselves more space to take up. What might be filtering through the lenses that we see this world? And just an invitation to notice. Maybe there is some shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and maybe some desperate needs that are scratching at the surface of we should be doing this, or it needs to look this way, or I haven't yet done this. And just slowly taking the foot off the gas pedal, allowing the mind to be held in resource. Maybe even it looks like right now just putting our to-do list aside. Almost like we can brain dump into the container, allowing the container to hold our to-dos, what's next, for after this time together. Maybe it's about, allowing that to be and really tuning in to the observer, observing without needing to change. And what if, and this might sound silly, but we were already whole? Does it sound silly? Maybe it feels hard to really open to that. But what if you tried? What comes up? And everything that's been moving, that's been churning, that maybe is a little red hot or tender in this moment, we're going to imagine that they get the red carpet, that earth can start to come up and hold them, that they get to start to be washed with the elements of earth, water, fire, and wind, and this whole mixture creates a recipe that gets to really nourish, adore, and give the possibility of transformation where the densities get to either dissolve or reintegrate. That maybe what you're feeling can start to be soothed. And what would it feel like if you opened to that possibility? Just putting stuff down that's ready. Opening. And we can imagine nourishment all around. The support that's watching us, that's helping to guide us. What can they offer in this moment? That could help what you already know. Could support the opening to maybe what's next. Maybe even just sinking a little deeper, releasing a little bit more tension and learning how to receive from a place of no expectation. When the world is intense, where do we find the center of the storm? Who do we know ourselves to be? And what are we? Sometimes welcoming that unknown feels sticky or scary. But what if it didn't feel scary? Or maybe only a little scary. What if opening felt like a flower opening to the sun, getting to receive warmth, just like we breathe, as it happens naturally, as it's something innate that keeps us alive? And what if when we looked up at the sky, we could feel the warmth of the sun, and it wasn't just warmth, but like a hug from someone you love? Tapping into these qualities, we can see how interconnected, what a dance this is. And how do we want to engage life? Sometimes it can feel easy to let a lot of things come in and feel like we're the center of the chaos. And when that feels really heavy and dense, where do we find our center? Allowing that release of what's not yours and the recalling of what is. The allowing for earth to come and support. Letting you know that you're not alone. Letting you feel this quilt that's intricately woven, and allowing you to feel like how that feels in the body. And what colors would feel nourishing to the system? What textures, what densities would feel nice to bathe in? What emotions might feel really present or alive? And what could we offer to them? They might need something for us, or maybe just bringing awareness to them would be enough. And with the capacity we have in this current moment, noticing how much aliveness there is to feeling what wants to be felt. How every moment can be filled with awe and also complexity. And how we can really tune in to where the resource is when we feel like maybe we need more support. And noticing in this moment how much support you're able to receive. And imagining that you can call in the support that would feel so nourishing. Can be from the earth, the universe, can be from colors and shapes, maybe even any allies, foods, medicines, and allowing that resource to really show up and nourish. And as you sit and be nourished and washed over, notice how it feels. And as our time here comes to a close, we can just allow the completion of what you came here to receive be completed, feeling the ability to come full circle, or at least allowing for whatever was meant to be seeded and watered and nourished, for what's meant to bloom. And just allowing the reference points of being in the body, being with the unknown, or even feeling, have ground in the system, so that whenever you need to reference these points, you can find them and nourish them. And just allowing yourself to find the body and bring awareness there. And as you exit the container, allowing yourself to feel the groundedness. A lot of gratitude and compassion. Thank you.